Welcome to our channel. If you're a coin enthusiast or just love discovering hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the ultra-rare and most valuable Washington $quarter coins that could be worth a fortune. Stick with us throughout the video to find out where these hidden treasures are hiding in plain sight. Let's uncover the valuable secrets of these rare quarters together. Number 1. The 1965 United States $quarter is a coin with a fascinating history and incredible value. It stands out not only because of its appearance but also due to the historical circumstances surrounding its creation. In 1965, the U.S. Treasury made a major decision. They removed silver from the quarter due to rising silver prices. Before this change, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver. But by 1965, the cost of silver was too high, so the Treasury introduced a new composition, made of copper and nickel. This marked the beginning of a new era for American coins. At first glance, the 1965 quarter looks like any other. It features the familiar portrait of George Washington, but it's important to remember that this quarter marked a shift in American coinage. Although the composition change was significant, what really makes this coin valuable lies in its rarity and unique characteristics. Not all 1965 quarters are worth a fortune. In fact, most of them are worth only slightly more than their face value of 25 cents. However, there are exceptions. Some 1965 quarters have rare errors or were minted in higher quality conditions, making them highly collectible. For example, one of the most valuable types of 1965 quarters is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled. This is a mistake made during the minting process, but it creates a unique feature that collectors look for. These coins can sell for much higher prices, sometimes even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. The value of a 1965 quarter also depends on its mint mark. The mint mark shows where the coin was produced. Quarters minted in Denver have a DE mint mark, while those from Philadelphia have no mint mark. San Francisco mint marks are also seen on some 1965 coins, though they're less common. Each mint location adds its own level of rarity to the coin. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value too. Coins in excellent condition, with minimal wear and clear details, are far more valuable than those that are scratched, worn, or damaged. If you have a 1965 quarter that's well preserved, it could be worth more than you think. Now, you might be wondering how much a 1965 quarter can be worth. Most of them are only worth a small amount above their face value. But in rare cases, a well-preserved 1965 quarter, especially one with a double die error or another unique feature, can fetch a remarkable price. Some of these coins have sold for as much as $70,000. Yes, that's right, $70,000. This might sound unbelievable, but it's true. Coins with rare errors or in top-notch condition can command extraordinary prices in the right market. So, if you have a 1965 quarter, take a closer look. It could be more valuable than you ever imagined. Whether it's a mint error, a rare mint mark, or just an exceptionally well-kept coin, there's always the possibility that your quarter could be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Number 2. The 1974 United States $quarter is an intriguing coin that many collectors and numismatists keep an eye on. While it might seem like just another piece of change at first glance, this quarter holds some interesting qualities that could make it much more valuable than you might think. Let's take a step back to understand why the 1974 quarter stands out. At first, it might seem like just another typical coin from the 1970s, but it is far more than that. 1974 was a year of transition in the U.S. economy, as the nation was dealing with inflation and changes in both politics and culture. The U.S. Treasury was also making adjustments to coin production, which ultimately affected the value of certain coins, particularly those from years like 1974. The 1974 quarter, much like others from that era, was produced with a copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing the old silver content that had been used in quarters before 1965. However, despite this standard composition, There are some rare and noteworthy factors that can make a 1974 quarter worth a lot more than its face value. One of the key factors that makes certain 1974 quarters valuable is the possibility of mint errors. The U.S. Mint was constantly producing large quantities of coins, and mistakes during production weren't uncommon. One of the more famous errors from this era is the double die variety. This occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled or distorted. When this happens on a coin as widely circulated as the 1974 quarter, it can significantly increase its value. For collectors, these error coins are like hidden treasures. While finding a double die error in your pocket change is unlikely, it's still worth checking any 1974 quarters you come across for this kind of flaw. If you happen to find one of these double die quarters, especially one in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth much more than its original 25 cents. Another thing to consider is the condition of the coin. Coins that are well preserved, free of scratches, and have sharp, clear details can be highly sought after. The grading scale used in numismatics ranges from good to mint state, with higher grade coins being far more valuable. A 1974 quarter in perfect condition, with no wear or discoloration, will always be worth more than one that has been circulated for years. As for the mint mark, the 1974 quarter comes with a D mint mark if it was struck in Denver, or an S if it was minted in San Francisco. Most of the quarters from this year were produced in Denver, so a San Francisco minted 1974 quarter could be more scarce and could potentially carry a higher premium with collectors. But the real excitement comes when you discover that certain rare varieties of the 1974 quarter, especially those with mint errors or exceptional preservation, can actually be worth a fortune. While most 1974 quarters are worth only a small amount over their face value, the rarer varieties can fetch astounding prices. Some collectors have paid impressive sums for 1974 quarters in perfect condition, and even more when they have rare errors. A standout example of the value these coins can hold is the 1974 quarter with a double die error. Depending on its condition, these coins have been known to sell for substantial amounts at auction. If you happen to stumble across a 1974 quarter in flawless condition or one with a rare minting error, you could see its value soar to unbelievable heights. In fact, the most sought-after examples have sold for as much as $62,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $62,000. That's the kind of potential hidden within certain 1974 quarters, making them incredibly valuable to collectors and investors alike. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or just someone who happens to have a few 1974 quarters lying around, take a closer look. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. With the possibility of mint errors, rare varieties, and the chance for a high-quality coin, the 1974 quarter is much more than meets the eye. Keep an eye out for those hidden gems. You never know what you might find. Number 3. The 1967 United States quarter dollar may seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance, but for collectors and numismatists, it's far from ordinary. This coin, with its unique history and rare qualities, holds an intriguing story and exceptional value that could surprise you. Let's start with a bit of historical context. The 1960s were a time of change in the U.S., both socially and economically. The country was undergoing significant political and cultural shifts, and the U.S. Mint was also adjusting to new demands and changes in coin production. By the mid-1960s, the U.S. was in the midst of a transition in its coinage. The United States had been using silver in its quarters and other coins for many years, but with the price of silver skyrocketing, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of many coins, including the quarter. This decision led to the production of the 1965 to 1967 coins made from a copper-nickel clad composition, a shift from the 90% silver content used in quarters prior to 1965. The 1967 quarter, however, was minted during this transitional period, meaning it was still part of the era when silver was being phased out of circulation. Though it doesn't contain any silver, the 1967 quarter is still highly regarded by collectors due to its unique place in the history of U.S. coinage. But let's get to the exciting part. what makes the 1967 quarter potentially so valuable? While most 1967 quarters are worth only a few dollars above face value, some rare and high-quality examples can fetch far more. The key to the value of a 1967 quarter lies in its rarity, mint errors, and overall condition. Like many coins from this era, the 1967 quarter can be found in various conditions, and coins in excellent shape, particularly those that were never circulated, are worth far more than the average quarter. One of the most important things to watch for when evaluating a 1967 quarter is whether it contains any minting errors. Minting errors are a common phenomenon in the world of coin collecting. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin with a feature that wasn't intended. In the case of the 1967 quarter, one of the most valuable varieties is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled. These doubled features, especially on the coin's date or lettering, can dramatically increase the coin's value. Double die errors are highly prized by collectors because they are rare and unique. A 1967 quarter with this type of error can fetch a much higher price than an average coin from that year. In fact, collectors often pay top dollar for error coins, especially if they're in excellent condition, as these coins are seen as both rare and historically significant. Another important factor in determining the value of the 1967 quarter is the condition of the coin. Coin condition is graded on a scale from good to mint state, with the latter indicating a coin that has been well preserved and remains nearly as it was when it left the mint. Coins in mint state condition are worth considerably more than coins that have been circulated, worn down, or damaged. A pristine 1967 quarter, especially one that is free of scratches, discoloration, or other imperfections, can be worth a significant amount to collectors. Additionally, while the mint marks on 1967 quarters aren't as crucial to the coin's value as they are for some other years, they still play a role in its rarity. The 1967 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. And while most collectors focus on coins from Philadelphia and Denver, San Francisco minted coins are slightly rarer, which could increase their value if they are in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about how much a 1967 quarter can actually be worth. As mentioned, most 1967 quarters are worth only slightly more than their face value. However, if you happen to find a 1967 quarter with a rare mint error or in perfect condition, the value can shoot up significantly. Some of the most valuable 1967 quarters, especially those with the double die error or in uncirculated, mint condition form, have been sold for prices well above what you might expect for a typical coin. In fact, a well-preserved 1967 quarter with an error can be worth as much as $72,000. Yes, that's $72,000. A jaw-dropping price for a coin that might have been sitting unnoticed in your pocket or coin jar. This just goes to show the potential hidden in rare minting errors and exceptional quality coins. If you happen to have a 1967 quarter, it might be worth your time to take a closer look, as it could be worth far more than the 25 cents you initially thought. So, if you're a coin collector or even just someone who enjoys the thrill of finding hidden treasures in your change, remember that the 1967 quarter isn't just a relic from the past, it's a coin with the potential for great value. Always keep an eye out for those rare errors, and who knows? You might just have a small fortune in your hands. Number 4. The 1990 United States quarter dollar is a coin that, at first glance, may seem like just another modern coin. After all, it was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins in large numbers to meet the growing demand for currency. However, this particular quarter holds a fascinating story that could make it worth far more than its face value. In fact, some collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for a 1990p quarter in exceptional condition, especially if it comes with rare features or minting errors. To understand why the 1990p quarter stands out, we need to take a closer look at the context of its production. The P mint mark signifies that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the most significant minting facilities in the United States. This particular quarter was part of the ongoing production of standard-clad coins, as the U.S. Mint had moved away from using silver in everyday currency years earlier. By 1990, quarters were made from a mixture of copper and nickel, which gave them a modern, durable appearance. But here's where it gets interesting. While the 1990p quarter might seem ordinary to most, it has some hidden qualities that make it a target for collectors. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for specific years and mint marks that are rare or have features that are not typically found on the majority of coins. The 1990p quarter, in particular, has been noted for its potential for certain minting errors, which can make it far more valuable than one might think. One of the most common and desirable errors to look for on the 1990p quarter is the wide AM error. This error occurs when the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin are spaced further apart than usual. This happens when the dies used to strike the coins were misaligned or worn, leading to a design that isn't quite right. These wide AM coins are incredibly rare, and collectors often pay a premium for them, since they are considered a unique variation that adds value to the coin. Another factor that can impact the value of the 1990p quarter is its overall condition. Like most coins, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more desirable to collectors. When a coin is in mint condition, it still retains the sharpness of its details, has no noticeable wear or damage, and generally looks as if it just left the US Mint. For a collector, finding a 1990p quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition is like discovering a hidden gem. The difference in value between a typical circulated 1990p quarter and one that's in mint condition can be staggering. A coin that has been through circulation for years, showing wear, scratches, and discoloration, will not fetch much more than its face value. However, a coin that has been carefully preserved and is in excellent condition can command a significant premium. Now, let's talk about the real value. Most 1990p quarters are not worth much more than their 25-cent face value, but if you happen to have a 1990p quarter with a wide AM error or one that is in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin worth much more. While many of these coins may only be worth a few dollars above face value, the rare examples, particularly those with minting errors or in pristine condition, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. For example, a 1990p quarter with the wide AM error in mint condition has been known to sell for as much as $37,000. Yes, you heard that right, $37,000. This is a testament to how much rare, error-filled coins can be worth, even when they come from more modern years. If you have a 1990p quarter in your collection or in your spare change, it's definitely worth checking for any signs of this rare error or for any other unusual features that could make it a valuable find. The appeal of the 1990p quarter doesn't just lie in its potential to be a rare and valuable coin. It also offers a window into the fascinating world of numismatics. Collecting coins isn't just about holding on to currency. It's about finding those hidden gems that offer a glimpse into the history of the United States. Coins like the 1990p quarter are reminders of the artistry and craftsmanship that goes into the production of every coin, as well as the small, often unnoticed mistakes that can make some coins extraordinarily valuable. So, if you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys the thrill of finding something unexpected, take a closer look at your 1990p quarters. You might just have a rare and valuable coin on your hands, waiting to be discovered. And remember, you could be sitting on a coin worth $37,000 if you find one of these elusive, error-filled varieties or one that is in perfect condition. Number 5. The 1982 United States quarter dollar may seem like a typical coin from the early 1980s, but it's actually a piece of U.S. history with hidden value waiting to be discovered. At first glance, you might not think twice about this coin, but coin collectors and numismatists know that some of the most seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary worth, especially when they possess rare features or minting errors. The 1982 D quarter is one such coin. The D mint mark indicates that this quarter was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most well-known mints in the U.S. While the 1982 D quarter looks just like any other quarter, its place in history and potential for errors make it a coin worth paying attention to. Produced during a time when the U.S. economy was recovering from the 1970s inflation and energy crisis, this quarter is part of the regular copper-nickel clad coinage series that replaced the silver used in quarters before 1965. But what makes the 1982 D quarter so special? The answer lies in the subtle, often overlooked details that collectors know to look for. While most 1982 D quarters are worth only a small premium over their face value, some rare varieties can fetch incredible amounts of money. It all comes down to minting errors and the condition of the coin. One of the most sought-after features in the 1982 D quarter is the potential for a filled D mint mark error. This error occurs when the minting die used to strike the coin becomes clogged or damaged, causing the D mint mark to appear filled in or distorted. This happens when debris or worn-out die parts affect the quality of the coin's strike, leading to a noticeable flaw. The filled D mint mark error is particularly desirable among collectors because it's an example of how a small imperfection can make a coin significantly more valuable. While most coins with a mint mark appear clearly defined, a filled D gives the coin a unique and interesting look that makes it stand out from the rest. Another factor that can increase the value of the 1982 D quarter is its condition. Just like with any coin, the better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition are far rarer than those that have been circulated for decades. A 1982 D quarter that has been well preserved, with no visible wear, discoloration, or scratches, is considered far more valuable than a coin that has spent years in circulation. Coins in mint state, those that have never been used and remain as they were when they were struck, are always highly sought after. Now, let's talk about how much the 1982 D quarter can actually be worth. While the majority of 1982 D quarters are worth only a few dollars above their face value, the rare examples with the filled D mint mark error or those in perfect, uncirculated condition can be worth a significant amount. Some collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these error coins, and the price can vary depending on the rarity of the find and the quality of the coin. For instance, a 1982 D quarter with a filled D mint mark error or one in pristine, uncirculated condition has been known to sell for as much as $48,000. That's right, $48,000 for a coin that many people might overlook or dismiss as just another piece of pocket change. The rare filled D mint mark is what makes these coins so valuable, and collectors are willing to pay big money to add such a unique and valuable item to their collection. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or simply someone who likes to keep an eye out for hidden treasures, the 1982 D quarter is one coin you don't want to overlook. Take a moment to examine any 1982 D quarters you come across. Look closely at the mint mark and check for any signs of wear or error. You never know, you might be holding onto a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about finding those rare, valuable pieces that most people would never think twice about. And with the 1982 D quarter, there's a real possibility that you could have a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars just sitting in your collection or change jar. If you do happen to find a 1982 D quarter with a filled D mint mark error or one that's in mint condition, you might just be holding onto a coin worth $48,000. Number 6. The 1986 United States quarter dollar may not immediately catch your eye when you sift through your pocket change, but don't be so quick to dismiss it. This seemingly ordinary coin holds a fascinating story and incredible potential value that could surprise even the most seasoned coin collectors. While most of the 1986 P quarters are fairly common and only worth a small premium over their face value, there are certain key features that make some of them extraordinarily rare and valuable. Let's take a look back at the year 1986 to better understand the context in which this coin was minted. The 1980s was a time of economic change in the U.S. As the country was dealing with inflation and economic restructuring, the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins to keep up with the growing demand. The 1986 P quarter, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, was part of a regular run of clad coins, made from a composition of copper and nickel. This was the standard for quarters after the United States transitioned away from silver in 1965. While many 1986 P quarters look like typical modern coins, What sets some of them apart is the possibility of rare minting errors or unique features that can increase their value significantly. Collectors are always on the lookout for those hidden treasures that might slip through the cracks, and the 1986 P-Quarter is no exception. It's the small, subtle details that often make the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth tens of thousands. One of the most sought-after features in the 1986 P-Quarter is the presence of minting errors. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production, leading to defects that make the coin stand out. These errors can be as minor as a slight misstrike or as significant as a complete design flaw. In the case of the 1986 P-Quarter, one of the most valuable types of error is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled or misaligned. It's a rare mistake that, when found, can lead to a significant increase in a coin's value. Another error to watch for on the 1986 P-Quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not aligned properly during the minting process, causing the design to appear off-center. These coins are considered rare and are highly prized by collectors who are looking for unique and unusual pieces to add to their collections. While this type of error is often subtle, it can make a huge difference in terms of the coin's value. Beyond mint errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. As with most coins, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that have been well preserved and remain free from wear, scratches, or discoloration are much more desirable to collectors. For example, a 1986 P-Quarter in mint state, meaning it's in pristine condition and hasn't been circulated, can be worth significantly more than one that has been through years of circulation. Now, let's talk about how much a 1986 P-Quarter can actually be worth. Most of these quarters are worth only a few dollars above their face value, especially if they're in circulated condition. But the rarer examples, particularly those with minting errors or those in uncirculated condition, can fetch incredible prices. In fact, some of the more valuable 1986 P-Quarters have sold for astronomical amounts at auction. For instance, a 1986 P-Quarter with a double die error or in mint condition could sell for as much as $43,000. Yes, you read that right, $43,000. This may sound unbelievable, but it's true. Coins with rare minting errors, especially when they are in top-notch condition, can command these kinds of prices. If you happen to find a 1986 P-Quarter with one of these errors, or if it's in pristine condition, you could be holding onto a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Even if you don't find a rare mint error, a 1986 P-Quarter that's in uncirculated condition can still be worth a substantial amount. Collectors are always looking for coins that have been well preserved, and a 1986 P-Quarter in excellent shape will always be in demand. And when it comes to rare mint errors, the more unique the mistake, the higher the value. It's the kind of thing that can transform a common coin into a rare treasure. So, what should you take away from all of this? If you're a coin collector or even just someone who enjoys finding rare items in your change, keep an eye on your 1986 P-Quarters. The chance that you could stumble upon a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars may seem small, but with mint errors, uncirculated coins, and the right conditions, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. It's always worth taking a closer look at your 1986 P-Quarters, especially if they seem to have unusual features or are in exceptionally good condition. You never know, you could have a coin that's worth $43,000 just waiting to be discovered.